My name's Tim Fitzgerald. I'm president of Exploration Acres. We actually started the business in 2008. Business is a form of agritourism. It's a relatively new type of business. The term that was coined, I don't know, probably about 10 years ago. U-picks, pumpkin patches, corn mazes, orchards, all kind of fall under that type of business category, where you invite the public out to your farm to actually enjoy themselves and hopefully educate them a little bit about agriculture. My business actually started, it wasn't accidental necessarily, but it started because an accident was made putting a brand new roof on the barn. And that was my dad who did that, and the barn was all termite infested and so on. And I said to him, hey, you know, the rest of the barn's falling apart. The boards were hanging off, the windows were all broken out. So I basically wanted to help him out by coming up with an idea or a way to justify refurbishing all the buildings. And so I started searching. And actually I found out about agritourism, and I became interested in, I went and visited some farms that were doing something like this. And then I went to Purdue and I went through their New Ventures program and actually started a business plan there, although the New Ventures program really wasn't set up for my type of business. I put together a business plan and then spent 2 years just, you know, basically renovating all these buildings because we decided at one point that all the demographics were, you know, appropriate for our business. We had about 2 million people within a 60-mile radius, 500,000 families within a 60-mile radius. Our strategy was to just, for the most part, get our name known in the local community first, in the first year or two, and then try to become more regional. And it was that simple, just simple goals like that. Our purpose, I guess you could say, is to educate people about agriculture while entertaining them. And we tried to, everything that we do, we think about that. Say, is that going to educate people? Is that going to entertain them?
And what year did you create your business plan?
Our business plan was put together probably around 2006. It's pretty much remained the same since we started. We knew that we had a good family base, 500,000 families, and since I have a family, my sister and my brother-in-law who are all involved in this, we felt that that was a strength for us because we know what value is to a family and how difficult it is to take a whole family out and do something. So we wanted to create a business that was very affordable, and I feel that we've done that. But we did not just target families. We were very aware of the fact we had over 40,000 Purdue students about 18-20 minutes away. So we targeted Purdue students pretty heavily the first few years. And since then, I'm starting to make a little bit of a shift, and I'm trying to now target grandparents as well. So in the next year or so, a lot more of my radio advertising and some of the forms of media I use to advertise will be targeting grandparents, because I feel that I've really not targeted them enough, and they actually have disposable income that they can use toward grandchildren and so on they bring out here. Competition goes, I view it like this. Our admission is $9 for adults and it's $6 for kids. So you think about what other kinds of things would people spend $9 or $6 on. Nowadays, you can spend that just going out and eating a meal. And it's immediate gratification, but you're done eating your meal in a half hour, 45 minutes, you're done. You could come out here and spend a whole day, or in 3 or 4 hours, have a really good time. So I feel that people perceive that value. They equate it. You know, this has value. I'm spending about as much as I do there. Other things that you could do in town, you could go bowling, you could go to the theater and watch a movie. I see them as being more immediate competitors to us, because it comes down to what's someone going to do on a weekend, and where are they going to spend that amount of money. And what we try to do is capitalize on that in the fall. My advice would be just do your research if you're going to start a business. The most obvious things are have a complete understanding of what that business is. I think for entrepreneurs it all comes down to finding a need and filling it. And a lot of times that happens just from sheer necessities. If you ever find yourself as an entrepreneur thinking, boy, this is a royal pain, there's got to be an easier way to do this, well, there's an opportunity to solve the problem and find an easier way of doing something. And that, I guess, I've applied that to this business in a sense. I went and visited a lot of my competitors, and while they were doing a very nice job at what they do, I looked at it and I looked at my skill set and I looked at the skill sets we have within our family, and I said, you know, we've got a tremendous amount of skill here. We can probably do a better job and put a little more polish on it. So that's what we did with this business. Also, do not skip the step of writing a business plan. It's been extremely important to me to have that business plan and to assess our budgets every year and reevaluate them and decide whether they're accurate or not. You know, we have projected budgets several years out, but then you have to every year look at, okay, how do we really spend our money the past year? You also have to understand you cannot let, you need to be cautious your first few years. Business, you have to take a certain level of risk, but you don't want to overextend yourself those first few years. I understand it's going to take 3 to 5 years to truly be profitable. I've probably been an exception to the rule in a very bad economy, but the economy, believe it or not, has really helped me because more people are staying closer to home. They're looking for affordable things to do that don't mean that they have to take a very expensive family vacation. So we just happen to have this odd little niche right now where we're growing. But you also have to evaluate what's the worst case scenario, be prepared for that, and if it's better than that, capitalize on it.